Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to the Timey Wimey Boys. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this week's episode, Cam, how are you doing? I hope you're feeling festive. I hope you're feeling Christmassy. I hope you're feeling in a giving, charitable mood.
2 out of 3. But yeah, I have been enjoying Christmas. I've been enjoying going around the shops, seeing all the new products that are available for my grubby capitalist hands to consume. I've seen a few weird things though. I saw that Pot Noodle have released a new variation. They've got Christmas pot noodle.
Wow.
So now you too can enjoy your Christmas dinner in 30 seconds straight from kettle water.
If you, like me, are sick every single year of having the stress of cooking an entire Christmas dinner,
we've got the
good
thing
news.
for you.
Pot Noodle have got you covered. It's Christmas dinner in sippable form.
It's described as, I think, stuffing and gravy.
I'd rather be stuffed into a meat grinder.
Like I said, I'm a dirty little consumer. I know it's only a matter of time before I try this pot noodle. I can't help myself.
But you were salivating just looking at it.
I was filled with a mix of curiosity and dread.
And lust.
Yeah, there was some feelings bubbling up. How about you? How's your week been?
Today, I discovered a whole new realm. In my own house.
Well, this is an intriguing sounding story.
Basically, we've never entered the attic before.
Okay.
And
right.
It was getting to the point where I was walking past the attic door every day and I was getting more and more convinced there was some little dude scampering around up there.
Well, mate, why did you think there was a little dude?
Look.
Is this just paranoia or have you got grounds for these claims?
You hear enough noises in the night and you start to think, there's a little dude. And you don't know what the little dude is, but you're pretty sure there is a little dude there.
Right.
And you just got to check there's not a little dude.
How big do you reckon he is from the sound of his...
He's anything from a foot to 4 foot.
4 foot to a foot is the other way of saying
He's
that.
either got 1 foot or 4 feet.
He's either moving around like... or...
Yeah. It's
right.
one of the two at all times. My girlfriend went up there. She did a 360 panoramic shot of the room. And it was like...
Wow.
It was... Guys, I know this is boring information. This was like in a video game when you find a hidden area.
Hidden behind...
A paywall.
Behind a paywall.
Yeah. And there was a light up there. And there was
a light up there?
Walk space. It's like,
walk
there's a whole other
space?
room here. When I don't think contractually we should be up there.
right.
Yeah, it was fun nonetheless.
You gotten up to anything else?
It's not all been good, Cam. I can't lie to you.
Oh, really? Well, how come?
Well, the other day I was doing my thing. I was going around the block. I was causing trouble. I was doing some graffiti. I was BMXing.
BMXing?
I was BMXing around.
Yeah.
BMXing.
Yeah, BMXing.
I was BMXing around. Does that sound weird when I say that?
It does, but I don't know why.
BMXing.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I was BMXing.
BMXing.
I was BMXing around and I was trying to spray Bad Wolf onto the underside of this motorway flyover.
Oh, no.
My cord snapped.
What?
My rope snapped. And I hit my head, and I forgot everything that happened in the Aliens of London.
Forgot everything?
Every single thing.
Well, I watched it through a few times, so I guess I'll remind you. I've done it before,
Really?
I'll do it again.
You remind me.
Yeah, because otherwise this is going to be a pretty one-sided podcast. So I feel it's my duty.
You have a moral responsibility to do this.
To the listeners.
Cam, thank you so much. Take it away.
So, we've done enough hopping back and forth in time now. Moment has come for Rose to go home, touch base for a little bit. The doctor is like, yeah, that's no problem. Well, we don't want to make this weird. We'll put you back like 12 hours afterwards. That's when they realise it hasn't been 12 hours. It's actually been 12 months, and Rose has become a missing persons for the past year. You can say a comment here if you care.
12 months?
That's right, 12 months. What a tragedy. Her mother, Jackie, has been worried sick.
No, Jax.
No, we hate to see Jackie upset, don't we? While Rose and the Doctor are dealing with the emotional and domestic fallout from that mishap, a spaceship just so happens to crash into the Thames and put the world on red alert.
Reep, reep, reep.
Yeah, that's the sound. That's the sound. But all of this is just a diversion from the real aliens hiding in Downing Street, posing as politicians and perpetrating a pernicious plot.
Whoa! I want to go. Let me see. Can I see that?
Yeah. Do you want to have a go with that?
We'll say it at the same time.
But all this is a diversion as the real aliens are hiding in Downing Street, posing as politicians and perpetrating a pernicious plot.
That's amazing.
And that's all I can tell you, because this is our first two-parter of the show since it's come back for the revival.
Sorry, you'll have to keep listening if you want to find
keep
out.
Listening. I'm sorry.
You just have to. Thank you so much, Cam, for that recap.
Not a problem.
There was a very eerie start to this episode. I thought this episode had the strongest opening sequence for me. You can kind of feel Jackie's pain and you can feel Mickey's pain in this episode. It feels very real.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, that will be interrupted almost every 5 seconds by a fart joke, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. We've got to make room for these sorts of important moments.
Jackie slaps the shit out of the Doctor in this episode. I replayed Jackie slapping the Doctor 10 times.
It's the best moment of the show.
So obviously, by the time Jackie's done with him, he starts to regenerate. He's David Tennant from then on.
Yep.
That's how hard Jackie slaps him. She slaps him and he turns back around. He's David Tennant. Jackie's got a mean slap. And I understand why she did it. From her perspective, this guy's just stolen her daughter for a year. Rose doesn't help him out much. And in about 5 minutes' time, she calls the Doctor gay.
Yeah. But when her mum is asking her, can you at least just tell me where you've been? There's no excuse given here, which I thought was just poor effort on her part. But then, to be fair, what would your excuse be in this situation? You've been missing for a year.
That I went on a lad's holiday to some country, and that I've been in a coma.
Right, okay.
In that country.
Who were the lads?
Probably Rude Ralph.
Rude Ralph?
Probably Beefy Bert. Henry's, I don't know, he's not as relevant as he used to be, so we'll probably take Peter with us.
Right, okay, fair.
There's a policeman at the apartment interrogating the Doctor and Rose. And the Doctor announces that he employed Rose as his companion. The police then asked if it was a sexual relationship.
Of course.
And I'm thinking, the Doctor wouldn't have just announced that Rose he's a pimp. Do you think he would have used the word employed if it was a sexual relationship?
It's a bit far-fetched, but I think it's just another example of nobody can look at this man without assuming anybody travelling with him.
He's trying to bonk him.
You're trying to bonk him. He is the most bonkable man anybody has ever seen.
He's like, sexual, I presume? No.
I presume this relationship is sexual.
No. The alien spaceship crashes in London and they have to get over there right away. And I've got to say, at least they justify not using the TARDIS this time.
Right, of course, yeah.
And they will obviously use it in a minute anyway. But
yes.
They normally just decide to take the scenic route when they have a machine that teleports.
We talked about this in the first episode. Makes no sense why they don't just use that for all transport all the time.
At least they try and justify it today.
Yeah. I liked while they were stood in the street discussing all the roadblocks and not being able to get there, I loved watching all the extras angrily getting in and out of their cars. Just my luck. Or, this has got to be Ken Livingstone, hasn't it?
If you want to sell the reality of what would happen if a spaceship crash landed in London, just have footage of frustrated commuters. The Doctor and Rose head back to the flat and they're flipping through all the news channels, trying to get the latest scoop on the alien spaceship. Rose is practically begging them to put on Newsround Extra. No one listens to her.
It's like, it's the most reliable news channel on there.
She's like, please, I bet Newsround Extra has someone in the scene.
They do, however, go on to Blue Peter. I used to see Matt Baker baking and think, this presumably happened on the same day, this red alert moment. Is it a little bit too soon to be making cakes emulating the discovery of a UFO and an alien?
Making a cake of something seems to be a fairly common human trauma response, it seems.
Right, yeah. We want to turn our misery into something delicious.
We're then introduced to Tosh.0.
Tosh.0, yeah.
Tosh.0. I'm so glad we're seeing... Guys, okay, no one else is going to get this, but the woman in this scene also plays a character in the show Torchwood.
Yeah.
And I love her so much. She gets to meet Biig Pig.
Biig Pig.
We're introduced to Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, who's poking around in Downing Street, and someone is rude to her, and I thought, don't you speak to Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, like that!
She's our queen!
She's our queen. I love her immediately.
Yeah, she does. She just gets you on board, doesn't she? She's just this sweet, working...
She's a sweet working gal.
caring lady
Oh.
that works in politics.
Yeah. She's not an MP, she's just a lady that happens to work in Parliament. I won't have any Harriet Jones slander.
None. No, thank you. Not on this ship.
We have our first fart joke. And I'm instantly reminded why this show is a hard sell to people. Similar to our podcast, in all fairness.
I did want to ask you how do you feel on the fart jokes?
Look, I've learned to tune them out. I am also partial to a fart gag, but it's a bit excessive, isn't it?
There's a couple too many, aren't there?
Sorry. That will be the only one.
That's all right.
I would support Harriet Jones.
Oh, for sure.
To my final breath.
Yeah. You die for Queen and Country, but Queen being Harriet Jones.
Queen
and
is Harriet
Country
Jones.
being wherever Harriet Jones is.
Yes. The Doctor leaves the flat so he can go and investigate the spaceship. And Rose is like, where are you going? How do I know you're going to come back? He reaches into his pocket and he gives her half a Big Mac he was saving for later. And he says, I'll come back for this. You keep this safe. Don't eat it! And then he heads off. Yeah,
and he's lucky he gave her half a Big Mac and not the remaining fries, because you know how she feels about chips.
No, there's a strict no chips policy on the TARDIS. It just makes Rose feral.
She just goes, chips. I can smell chips in here. He gets catcalled on the way. Just another little reminder. Everybody's seeing this man for the...
Everybody wants to bonk him.
He's a... You know what? Justice for Chris. Everybody pins David Tennant's 10th Doctor as the suave one that everybody fancies. But, like, there's not been an episode yet where Chris hasn't been...
Canonically, he's the hottest Doctor.
Yes, completely.
No matter what you say. He's got that rogue energy, hasn't he?
Yes, totally.
The TARDIS is dematerializing. And Mickey runs towards it like bloody Charlie Chaplin. He hits the wall all slapstick and falls over. And you know he did that just in case there was some theatre director watching.
That's the thing. The instant we're reintroduced to Mickey, he's back on his comedy slapstick physical humour.
This guy watches Tom and Jerry and the Three Stooges on a loop all day long. That and Lazy Town.
Those are his two shows.
Those are his two shows, Lazy Town and Tom and Jerry. And they inform how he walks around. Mickey is living in a Looney Tunes world.
Right,
he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
I don't even think he doesn't even feel pain like a normal human being. He's like a cartoon character.
No, he's been through a lot though by now. I'd be a slapstick crazy maniac if I'd gone through what he's gone through.
He's lost his mind. He's like the Joker or something. After this, we have such a long scene of the Doctor flying the TARDIS, just having a good time. It's so funny. It goes on for like 3 minutes. I'm on the road again.
Rose isn't here. We get some downtime for the Doctor to just pace around the TARDIS.
He just like drifts it around essentially, but like in space.
He's got like a smile on his face. He's showing off.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
I think this man actually thrives when he's by himself.
Yeah.
I think Rose, if anything, just holds him back.
There's an emotional weight on him. There's a moment where Harriet Jones says, I'm hardly one of the babes.
Oh, yes.
I beg to differ, Harriet.
Don't put yourself down
Don't
like
say
that.
You angel.
Harriet.
She's an angel of our community. I hope from all disease she has immunity. She's Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones.
She's Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones.
I just wanted to point that out. Then we're back with Tosh.0.
One thing I was wondering when I first saw this hospital, can they just not turn any of the lights on? I know all of this is top secret work, but...
Yeah, I didn't know that surgery was best done in incredibly low lighting.
Yeah, it's either no lights are on, or they've got these incredibly saturated blue and purple lights. There's no in between.
It's about the vibes, alright? When you're doing surgery on aliens, it's about the vibes.
Yeah, how are we meant to do surgery on aliens if it's not spooky?
Then suddenly, Big Pig starts... By the way, Big Pig is like like sentient pig that runs around on two legs. We found a little toy of him in Brighton, and now he lives in our garlic dish.
Yeah, I love him.
But he's running. We'll put a picture of him on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And you guys can decide what his name is.
Yeah. Name the pig. Name the pig. Name the pig.
Seriously, on Instagram, go and name our little pig that lives in our garlic bowl.
Yeah, whichever comment gets the most likes
from us.
From us,
internally.
yeah. We will name that pig.
Sure. But he's running around. He's running around. He's running around. He gets clipped immediately.
Yeah, this whole scene.
He's done.
This whole scene was insane. Like the fact that all of these soldiers just follow the doctor after pointing guns at him just because he gave them a few. In reality, Doctor would have been clipped too. Just straight off the bat, as soon as he gives one order. Yeah, that's the thing. People just want to follow him around.
Let me just say, if I was disgusting, if I was as perverted as you are...
Right, yeah.
If I had a gush, it would have been this scene.
Well, funny you should say that.
Are you serious?
This is my gush for this week.
Oh, guys, double gush!
Double gush!
Oh, God.
Didn't like that.
Sorry about that.
I fully agree with you. The suspense, the surreal reveal of the pig.
Surreal reveal?
The surreal reveal. I kind of...
Rebellium.
It does sound like a spell in Harry Potter. Yeah, I kind of wish I didn't know about the space pig when I watched this for the first time as an adult. Because... the way that this is the first alien you see in this episode, and this little pig head pops around the side.
So this pig was planted on the ship.
Yeah.
As the alien that crash landed to Earth. And obviously it was just a pig that had been experimented on and put in a suit.
Yeah.
And after they killed it, the doctor was saying he was scared. And I think that really stuck with me.
Exactly. It got such an emotional response out of me. Like, every time I watch it, it's why I had to make it my gush this week.
Yeah, fair enough. This is the one gush I will gladly drown in.
Oh, God. Sorry. Didn't like that either. I think one of the things that sells its emotions, though, unrelated to the pig, is they managed to cast the most evil-looking man to shoot him. That guy is, like, 90% eyebrows. He's just angry even when he looks
if you're
apologetic.
Watching, I'm sure you look lovely at home. But in this episode, you looked like a supervillain.
It was insane. You knew immediately when you saw him, before he'd even done anything in the episode, that man's going to shoot a pig later.
Yeah, sometimes you meet people and you think they're going to shoot a pig later.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
But I absolutely love the pig. Saying that, Kez.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good cook, I'd say.
Oh, don't ask me this
if
question. If
you were on MasterChef,
yeah,
and they've got that challenge where they lift the blanket, lift the cloth, and there's a bunch of random ingredients out. You've got your like pastas and rices and potatoes and like carbs, some veg, and the space pig is there.
Yeah.
What would be your best way to utilize the ingredients of the space pig?
I would put him whole into a blender and make a giant sausage.
Okay.
Space pig sausage.
Space pig sausage.
Yeah.
That I like that, because they do mention that he's got wires inside of him, so you would have to...
We talk in almost every episode about devouring like one of the characters.
Well, yeah, it's a food podcast.
I don't know what that says about us.
Yeah, and don't worry, that trend will continue.
It will continue. There are a lot of tasty characters in Doctor Who,
Oh.
and we mean that as in we would eat them.
We would eat them, yeah.
We would eat Cassandra.
We would.
And we would eat
We would huff a gelf.
We would huff a gelf, and we would eat
a blended up space pig sausage.
I would cook a sausage on K9.
You would cook on a hot summer's day?
I would like to open him up and there'd be a barbecue and him.
Why didn't they ever add that? That would have been a brilliant addition.
Anyway, we have this beautiful, emotional moment where the doctor was like, I was just scared. And like, when I was a kid, I remember thinking, that's right, like the things I just find scary, the things that are being aggressive, all this kind of thing, they're just scared. And people are the same and animals are the same, and that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And then straight back to farting.
Straight back to farting.
Literally every single emotional moment in this episode is undercut by a fart
It
joke.
is like
That's the only annoying thing.
whiplash.
Like, it is, right?
Just that very next scene where they're doing all their farting humour, she's like, I'm shaking my booty.
Oh, God. And it's like so jarring because I was just like, oh, that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then... As annoying as it is for you to listen to us doing that, that's how it felt.
Yeah, just imagine that, but like 10 times more. And then they start to do the unzipping the forehead stuff, which is just like, I thought was nightmare fuel as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's
my God. They're like zipping their foreheads open.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh, that was so scary.
Yeah, like...
I was like, fart joke.
I don't know where to settle emotionally.
I think I'm shaking my booty got more replays than maybe the Jackie slap, though.
Really? Yes. I want to sample that.
Something about it. Yeah. Then, after they do the zippy head thing, the Slitheen show up. I love the Slitheen. I love the Slitheen so much.
It's a crime that they've not been back in the main show since this.
Yeah.
They're just brilliant. I love them.
Bring them back. Bring back the Slitheen.
Back.
Bring them back. Bring them back. I'm serious. Please bring them back.
Yeah. We love them so much. I love their mischievous nature. I love their plotting. Their hiding amongst other people. They're great. If I could have a second gush, I might just put them as a concept on there.
We're not gushing over this. The Doctor is catching up with Tosh.0 after Big Pig gets clipped, and he vanishes like Batman.
Yeah.
Like, but we know he doesn't do parkour like Batman, so he really did just sprint off really quick.
Yeah. Down the hallway, you just hear.
That would have looked ridiculous if we'd seen it from his perspective.
Yeah, so it was really considerate that the cameraman just sort of moved.
Mickey was accused of killing Rose. Rose went away for 12 months, and Mickey was accused of killing Rose. I just thought the writing here was cool because there's so many domino effects to everything that's happened, and I think that's cool.
That is cool.
Jackie is having an absolute breakdown. She's seen the inside of the TARDIS now. She knows the Doctor's an alien. Jackie, if you were in Downing Street right now, you would have a stroke.
Oh, it would be the end for her.
I don't think she's companion material.
No, probably not. Probably.
As much as I would have loved it.
Yeah, it would have been great, wouldn't it?
But she's not bad.
During her freaking out, Mickey's freaking out in a different way. I did love that he's clearly been practicing his sassy, like, in-your-face routine when he realises that the Doctor's left Rose. He's like, oh, some boyfriend he turns out to be.
He's been practising in the mirror, like a good theatre boy does. Every day.
One thing he didn't practice for was the fact that the Doctor is capable of being far bitchier than him. The subtle calling somebody by a slightly wrong name is genius.
Don't try and out-bitch this incarnation of the Doctor.
No.
He is the sassiest northerner.
Could you imagine if somebody you worked with every day just called you Les?
What if someone called you Lamb every day?
Lamb. That's kind of cute.
They're in the TARDIS, and Mickey asks about what channels the TARDIS has.
Yeah.
Which Rose hears this and goes, "Has it got Newsround Extra?"
I heard they got a new segment on check.
They leave the TARDIS and they're surrounded by soldiers.
Yeah,
and the Doctor says, "Take me to your leader," which I think is cool because he is an alien. So for him, he's being abducted by aliens on an alien planet.
He's showing Mickey up here with his quick, clever quips, and
Mickey's like, "Oh, write that one down.
Right now, I mean, that's brilliant. It doesn't really work because I'm not an alien, but write that one down. And Rose had just told Mickey that Oh, I really did miss you. I'm sorry I never contacted and this happened to you. Rose, don't lie to yourself. You didn't miss Mickey. You were grinning ear to ear when you ran away from him 12 months ago.
You didn't think about Mickey for a single second.
No. Your mum, you gave a call to. You never thought about Mickey.
It's time to check back in with Harriet Jones, and I just want to say, I love Harriet Jones. She's a fighter, she's a tinkerer, and she cares what you think of her. And here's what I think of her. Queen. Boss ass. Boss ass lady.
She's definitely a boss ass lady.
She's a boss. Yeah. She's a BAL.
Yeah. She's still a little bit shaky and nervous in this stage of her character, but she's got the making of a true great woman.
Heart.
She's got the heart.
She's got heart. The Doctor gets taken into a big room. He realises it's a trap. Things start getting spooky.
Ooh.
They realise everyone's surrounded. Jackie's surrounded. Rose is surrounded. Mickey's surrounded, I think, probably. I don't think Mickey is he?
Actually, no, he hid behind a bin.
Yeah, Mickey's not surrounded.
Yeah.
Everyone else is surrounded. By the way, Margaret the Slitheen played the landlord of the pub in Ted Lasso for anyone who watched this episode and was wondering how you recognised it. That just maybe it.
Yeah, that's very thoughtful of you.
I also realised around this time that Slitheen kind of look like fan art of what Thomas the Tank Engine looks like on the inside. Like under the tank they have their weird body.
Do you reckon every night Thomas the Tank unzips his forehead and he crawls out of the machine?
Of himself.
Yeah.
I think it's more like he kind of untwists his head from the tank hole.
Oh, I don't like thinking of that.
And the full Slitheen is inside.
He's nice and oiled up so he can slide in and out easily.
Yeah. Slipping around in there. And it's our first cliffhanger of the season.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? 2-parters we've got. They used to do like 5-parters, but me and you, we watched the start of one of these. I'm glad they've trimmed it down to 2 parts.
Yeah, classic Doctor Who episodes used to literally be 5 or 6 parts, 20 minutes apiece. Way too much backstory on a bunch of people you'll never meet again.
Just like 3 or 4 cast members wandering around a set of a jungle
that they're reusing every 3 seconds. But god damn it, just like Harriet Jones, they had heart.
They had heart.
And you guys probably aren't smart enough to appreciate it.
That's why you never watched it, but we did. If you were working as Prime Minister for about, I think he's maybe got the job for like 6 hours so far, what would you do? You can't, I don't want to hear anything about world peace. Don't try and make yourself look like a martyr here. This is, you got 6 hours to make some changes.
I would demand that McCoy's change their McCoy's cheese and onion flavour back to how it tasted, I would say circa 2007-6.
Okay, that's a perfect answer. That is what this country needs to improve. If we finally started making these right choices, then
can we stop messing about, people, and talk about the real problems here? McCoy's crisps have gone downhill.
We used to make quality products.
We used to make quality
Street.
McCoy's. It's like we make quality street here.
I'd vote you in for another term.
Thank you. Another one.
Yeah. Another 6 hours. Yeah.
I'd probably.
What crisps would you change then?
Oh, if I had another 6 hours, I would make Domino's bring back the Full House pizza. All right, I know they're both food related, but these are the things that matter.
It's what the people want.
It's what the people need.
Listen to the people.
Listen to the feed.
They're in the limousine and the Doctor's talking about how he used to mingle with the different prime ministers, have a few drinks with some of them throughout history, presumably then as well throughout future prime ministers. You think the Doctor was at Partygate?
I think the Doctor definitely showed up for Partygate.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You know.
I can't intervene. I've got to let these things happen. Do you think a Time Lord can get so drunk that they regenerate?
Oh, that would be the worst hangover, or the best.
I don't know who I was last night. It was like a whole different person. But in this instance, it literally was. Sorry, Chris.
That's a brilliant
Sorry,
joke.
Christopher Eccleston, about my impression of you. It becomes more like Kermit or Jordan Peterson every week.
But that was the episode.
And that was Aliens
of London.
It's time for the segment you've all been waiting for. It's Snog, Marry, Exterminate!
Snog, marry, exterminate.
Yes, I am so looking forward to this week. I can't wait. Who's on the pickings for me today?
I hope you're hungry.
Oh,
Today, we've got the icon herself, for the first time making an appearance in Snog, Marry, Exterminate. We got Jackie Tyler, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, okay.
Also, joining the ranks of Snog, Marry, Exterminate this week is someone who is also a queen, an icon, a woman of business.
Yes.
Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, okay.
And finally, you got probably I would say, the sexiest of them all.
Yeah?
Biig Piig.
Biig.
You got Biig Piig.
Okay, well, this is going to be difficult. These are some incredible characters right here. I'm going to struggle to exterminate any of them, but I will, don't you worry. Would I snog or marry a pig from space? That's the question I've got. That's the question you're forcing me to ask myself
this
here.
podcast asks.
We're asking the real questions. I think no. The space pig is already in probably
If you
a lot
kill
of
Big Pig,
pain.
I'll make Big Pig sausage for you.
Okay, that makes things easier for me. I'm always happy to slaughter animals in the pursuit of food.
Oh god.
But when it comes to Jackie or Harriet, I think I'm gonna snog Jackie and marry Harriet, and I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you for why. I think that the more time I spend around Jackie, a woman who we know has the backhand of a silverback gorilla, the more I'm putting my life in danger. I think I need to avoid that at all times. I don't know
If Jackie
what.
slapped you, you would disappear like you'd just been Thanos snapped.
Yeah, I'd just disintegrate.
Yeah.
It would
You
not
would have a delayed reaction.
You know those like adverts where the cat jumps through the wall to get the dreamies? It would be like that, but just me going through the wall
You
to
would
get
crumble
hurt.
like Professor Quirrell.
Yes, yeah. So I think that's my answer. And what can I say? Harriet would make an amazing wife. What a lady. What a beautiful woman. What a strong woman.
Shout out Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale. Shout out Flydale North.
Shout out Flydale North.
Anyone listening in Flydale North, I want you to have a coffee on me today, but
Hey.
you'll have to buy it yourself.
This one goes out to you.
But it's on me, from the idea to have it is on me.
Right. That's considerate.
You can't
in a way.
invoice me for the coffee.
It's the thought that counts. So, do you want some trivia?
Give me some trivia. I'm hungry for some trivia.
I'm gonna serve it up to you.
Thank you so much, you fuck. Oh, no, sorry.
We'll start with some light triv. So, we mentioned earlier about Rose calling the doctor gay.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly, Russell added this to the script on purpose to spark talking and discussion online. He actually wanted it to be controversial. He wanted there to be backlash because he wanted people to be talking about these things, which is an interesting.
Russell, scandalous.
He's all about that drama, all about that high intrigue conversation.
Russell just drops a live grenade into his scripts and walks away. It seems.
Exactly. And now that you've eaten your starter, it is time for Triv or Dare.
I love this bit. I love this trivia bit. I love the trivia bit.
You sound a bit more excited.
I love the trivia bit.
Yeah.
I really do.
Okay, I've got one piece of true trivia, one piece of false trivia. If you get the true trivia right, you get to dare me tonight.
But this week, I think it's unfair if I don't also have a counter dare for if I get it wrong.
Okay.
So from here on out, because I'm such a great guy, if I get it wrong, you can dare me to do something. And guys, we'll post the results of this dare on our Instagram.
Exactly. So you're stepping up to the chopping block. I appreciate that. That's very respectful of you.
We'll post the results of this dare on our Instagram at the Timey Wimey Boys.
Yes,
Go
please
give us a
go
follow,
and follow.
guys.
Or the TikTok as well. We've got that.
Or the TikTok at the Timey Wimey Boys.
We do.
We've got animations. We've got artwork. We've got clips from the episodes.
There's stuff coming. There's stuff in the pipeline, guys. Just you wait. We're gonna treat you.
It's gonna be shooting out our pipeline and into your
Receptive minds.
receptive mind.
Your little eye holes.
Into your eye holes.
Triv number 1.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister, the actual Prime Minister in this episode, was meant to literally be Tony Blair, or at least a very similar representation of him. The actor was even brought on under the impression that he was a Tony Blair impersonator, but he didn't look like him at all, so that's why you barely see him in the show. There's no mention of Tony Blair.
So the guy they got to play Tony Blair looked nothing like him, so they barely showed him in the episode.
Yes, you see like a glimpse of his face, and he falls out the cupboard.
Did he not have a headshot? Did he fake his headshot?
I maybe. That
Alright,
depends
I suppose you
on
can't answer this kind of question.
whether this is true or not.
Okay.
Trivia number 2.
Yeah.
The original plans for this episode had the space pig as a talking role, with a popular British comedian in line to voice him. Now, this got cut because wasn't really fitting in the episode, was almost taking away from the emotion, but Russell wanted to promise this actor who had been chosen that they would find another role for him later in the show if they got an opportunity. And that is why he returned for the Series 2 episode Love and Monsters. And that actor was Peter Kay. Yes. So those are your options. Tell me your thoughts.
Oh, those are both so plausible. The Peter Kay thing, A, I feel like I may have heard of it, and B, I think the fact that the pig doesn't speak is what makes it so much sadder when it gets shot, because it couldn't have communicated.
Well, that would be why they cut it, obviously.
I'm going to say that the pig trivia is the false one.
You think pig trivia, Peter Kay is false?
Yes.
That is correct.
Oh, thank
you,
Jesus.
You perfectly found the true trivia. The guy who was meant to play literally Tony Blair just did not look like Tony Blair at all, even though he was an impersonator of him. So the producer was just like, look, we've still got to pay him, but we're just not going to show him in the episode. And apparently he was like so frustrated by this as well, because it was meant to be like a big part of the...
His wife had really been telling him he looked like Tony Blair, and it's been making him feel really good.
Yeah, they all had to like pretend he still looked like him, and yeah, it was terrible on set.
That was great. You did. That was really good. I love that. Thank you for that.
I was going to add a little thing about Peter Kay being part of the episode being an allusion to the North-South divide, but I thought that would maybe be pushing it too far.
You probably. I would have probably. It was good though. It was close. I doubted myself.
Thank you. So you get to dare me to do something that I will film and will upload.
We will announce what the dare is and what the result of it was on our Instagram.
Yes.
At the Timey Wimey Boys.
So go look.
And maybe on our TikTok, which has the same thing. So go and check those out, guys. In review, I thought this episode had some really strong moments, but I feel unfortunately, I feel like based on just the strong moments, it could have been a 7 for me out of 10. It could have been a Sylvester McCoy. But I think because of how undercut it is by the constant fart jokes that even I got sick of.
Right, yeah.
It has to be a 6, which is a Colin Baker out of 10.
Right, okay, yeah. I agree with you. I think there's so many great things in this episode, but it is brought down by just cutting through that tension that's building every 5 minutes for something like a fart joke. Not really justifiable, it's not great, but I do love this episode. It's definitely in the positive side. I think I'm able to forgive the fart humour a little bit more than you can. I think I'm gonna give it a Sylvester McCoy out of 10.
7 out of 10.
That's correct.
Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be talking about Part 2,
World War III. Yes, we will.
which I promise is less depressing than it sounds.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys then.
Yeah, see you then.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Thank you.